Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to another talking video. I actually released one of these 4 weeks ago talking about the state of survival games over the last 12 months and kind of Q1 releases, Dying Light, Stranded Deep, H1Z1, Survive the Nights and stuff like that. And a lot of you have been asking me questions, you know, what do you think of X, Y and Z game that's just come out, etc, etc. And even though I do reply to the majority of my comments, I just thought I'd put it out there, just make a video, just kind of explaining and kind of venting to some extent of the kind of 2/3 of the releases that I've played in January and how shit they've been. The first one, Stranded Deep, is the decent one. I think it's very good, especially for a first build. It's made by two guys, I think, Beam Team Studios, I think they're called, and it's very good. It's very minimalist. There's not a stupid enemy, there's no zombies, and it's just sharks. A very plausible, in a way, Castaway inspired kind of desert island scenario, and it is just refreshing to play a game where it's like, oh, that could probably happen to some extent, maybe. Whereas I think zombies, which are normally the enemy in survival games, are often incredibly badly implemented, other than maybe Project Zomboid and Dead Stead to some extent, probably. Dead State, rather. Did I say Dead Stent then? And yeah, it's good. I think it will get better. It does need fleshing out a lot, but it's definitely got the core there. The actual core gameplay is there, and the engine is good. The game looks good as well. The second one I played is Dying Light, and this for me looked decent when looking at it, you know, kind of over a few months ago, and I think the initial footage was released over a year ago, and it did look exciting. You know, it looked like a AAA take on a zombie game, and it's shit. It's just shit. There's no two ways about it. It's Dead Island with jumping on fucking lampposts, swinging a pipe around like a tit, and that is all it is. Just, if you must, just, you know, buy Dead Island for like $10, £6, whatever, and just jump. Just pretend you're jumping on lampposts. It's exactly the same thing. There's no innovation to it whatsoever. It's a remasked version of Dead Island. It should have been probably downloadable content for Dead Island, because I'm pretty sure it uses exactly the same engine. It's exactly the same studio, and you know, it's just shit. I mean, if you enjoy it, that's fine, but that's the reason I haven't made a series on it. A lot of people have been saying, where's the Dying Light videos, etc, etc, and no, shit. I just don't like it. I've played it for like 2 hours and it's just like, no, can't play this any longer, and I have tried since then and just cannot get into it whatsoever. Normally when you're making videos, if you're not enjoying something, it comes across just amplified so much, and people can tell that you hate stuff and various things like that. And I think to some extent this is a problem with the AAA market kind of making survival horror games. The two that I can think of, or certainly kind of zombie survival sandbox games to some extent, even though Dying Light is not a sandbox. That game is thoroughly on rails, trust me. You are kind of given the impression that it is a sandbox, but it's not whatsoever. So basically, the other one is, you know, State of Decay. That's the other AAA zombie game that I can think of, and that, I mean, it's good, but it just plays like shit, and that is actually getting re-released, or a kind of remastered version for the Xbox in the next few months, I believe. The next one I played was actually, well, the last one was H1Z1, and this was one I was kind of looking forward to. It was a title that I thought was going to kind of rock the boat slightly, and obviously it had a few server issues on the first kind of couple of days, which is fine. You know, if you're going to pay into an early access, you're going to have to deal with issues. You're essentially paying to be a QA. That is all you're doing. And, you know, it's not a privilege. Anyone who says you've had the privilege to play an early access game, that's bollocks. You're essentially saving the developers money by paying the money to do a job that they'd have to pay someone to do anyway. So certainly not a privilege, but it is good to actually see games and see them get built around you as you're playing it as well, which is, as I said, very good. H1Z1, I mean, I actually got a refund on H1Z1. I've never actually got a refund on a game on Steam before. a lot of people say, you know, there was this whole pay-to-win thing. A lot of people were saying that it's not actually pay-to-win because there's only a slight chance that you can get a gun or something extremely beneficial in-game from one of the airdrops. To me, even with a slight chance, that is still pay-to-win. Like, it is. Or even if you can get anything like a backpack, that still aids you, that gives you an advantage, you can carry more stuff. Obviously it doesn't give you an advantage in combat, but it's still, you're still paying to better yourself. You shouldn't be able to pay for food in any zombie apocalypse game, pay for anything. I mean, imagine that, for fuck's sake, like, you're just in a zombie apocalypse, just get your credit card out and just fucking dial something through. It's going to be next like ordering fucking pizzas to, you know, some town wreck or something like that. It's just backwards. I actually thought the gameplay was pretty good though. I had a bit of fun on it. I went on with a few friends and everyone was very talkative and friendly, which is normally the way when any type of game like that actually releases, because everyone's trying to get used to the game, trying to get used to the mechanics, and people want to learn, people want to be friendly, and then it just turns into a fucking deathmatch. Like, I remember Daisy Standalone when they came out, when that came out rather, and yeah, that was relatively similar, and then, you know, just deathmatch all the way. But I think DayZ has actually changed since then. I think it's kind of gone back on itself, and with the new render and stuff coming in, I kind of take back what I said about DayZ last time, and I'm not too sure if that's to do with H1Z1 coming out and seeing that, you know, the whole grass is greener kind of thing, and I've always loved the kind of DayZ mod. Standalone not as much, but I'm kind of warming to it again as I'm actually putting the time in, and, you know, they are getting somewhere. There's now a lot of vehicles on servers. As I said, the new renderer is coming in, and they're adding a lot of kind of decent stuff. Still no Taviana, obviously, which is like my favourite map on there, but that's fine. And yeah, basically, I think the whole thing from this month for me was just, where's the innovation? There's just none whatsoever, other than maybe Stranded Deep, which is not really innovation. It's actually stripped down to be an innovation in itself. It's really, it's quite hard to explain what I think about it, but yeah, I think, you know, that's probably the game where I've been like, oh, that is actually really good. Obviously, Survive the Nights comes out, I think, in February, and that looks very good. That does look very good, but I think they might have pushed back the date, which is a shame. And another thing I didn't mention last time is actually the Arma 3 mod called Arma 2017, which looks extremely good. I will leave the link to that mod description, or the mod's website, in the description below, so you guys can have a look at it if you really want. But what do you guys think? What do you think of H1Z1, Dying Light, Stranded Deep, or anything else that you've played in January? Let me know down below in the comments. And you know, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening to me babble on about random shit and stuff like that. And thanks for watching.